Greetings and God's peace be with you. My name is Kristofer Lindh-Payne, and I'm one of the co-rectors at St. Francis Episcopal Parish and Community Center. Last week was an amazing week for me. We celebrated the feast day of St. Francis of Assisi, and I had opportunities to preach and preside in a variety of different ways, sharing the good news of Jesus Christ in the person of Francis, the humble saint who sought to follow God in the most unique and radical ways. Maybe you got a chance to see and read some of those things as shared through the Chronicle. I know as part of our worship community here, you got to likely gather as part of our feast day last Sunday, or 2 Sundays ago, I should say, and we had offerings during the week of a variety of sort. When I got to preach and preside at the cathedral last week, I told some stories about the work that God is doing in and through us here as part of our Parish and Community Center, and I shared about a group of people that came out through the United Ways, one of their many days of service. There's a group of about 10 to 15 that came out. You may have seen the picture of some of them and seen signs of the work that they did as they worked in the community garden and along the hillside, weeding raspberry bushes in the rain. This was work that they really wanted to do. And the bulk of that work was done inside as they cleared out clutter from many corners of the building to make space for us to feed one another, to gather in prayer and in fellowship and service. I know that our weekly community dinner, our weekly dinner team got to set up space in the common room this past week and got to fill up that room with food and people as they gathered to eat and have tacos together. I also know that outside I got to witness the work of so many as part of our pantry on the go as so many people came looking for food and connection, watching our group of volunteers engage in such beautiful ways. On that Pantry on the Go experience, I got to meet, I got to actually be reintroduced to a woman who had come to this place years ago to receive some support and assistance, and she'd heard about some of the good works that we were doing, and she and her child wanted to come and help out and volunteer and also get some of the delicious food that we were sharing. But it was amazing to get a chance to talk to them, and her child was asking me lots of questions about all the growing that's happening. I was noticing the bio-retention gardens and the community garden, and we got to walk and I gave them a little tour of the campus as we went into the community garden and got to pick some of the tomatoes and the basil that was still growing there. And we walked up to those raspberry bushes that had been planted by loving hands, those of you on our green team, and as I was showing them the raspberry bushes and my hopes of how they might grow down the hillside sometime, I noticed a beautiful little miracle, a red raspberry growing on that. And so they got to have the first raspberry that I've seen growing on those bushes. The delight in seeing them taste that sweet goodness, and thinking about all the love and care that is going into the stewardship of our grounds and our buildings, creating spaces of welcome, spaces of nourishment. Seeing the way that people's lives are changed through service, through these loving acts of us gathering together in community. It's changing my life and the way that I see things. Thinking about the volunteers that came out from the United Way and the ways that they really threw themselves into not just moving all sorts of heavy things and really acting so respectfully as they wandered the halls of our building, just watching many of them interact with the sacred things that we have. I was watching one person in particular in the meditation room, just seemingly entranced by the San Damiano cross that sits in there now. If you're not familiar with the image, you've heard us talk about it, likely seen this image many times. This is the cross that Francis was praying before outside of Assisi when he was called by God. Hearing the words, "Francis, rebuild my house that has fallen into disrepair." This work that we are called to do as followers of Jesus in this time, in this place, it is a sacred thing. This visitor to our campus recognized that sacred thing in the cross that she saw, but also in and specifically in the ways that we got to serve together, mopping floors and moving boxes. For this family that showed up to serve and to receive food at the pantry, seeing the sacredness of those things that are growing and feeling the gratitude of being able to eat things literally from the vine, to feel the sweetness of that, to feel the love of God flowing through that. This is God using you and me, growing through us, using our hands and our hearts and our minds to rebuild, to restore God's world. It is a gift to be a part of this community with you, and I am so thankful for the ways that we get to serve and grow and learn and be changed together. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you and thank God. Until next time, Christ's peace be with you.